To go live. I don't know. I've been meaning to go live all this week. It's been an insane news week, right? With the Epstein files. Hulk Hogan died, of course. We're going to talk about Hulk Hogan. I just watched Suburban Commando. It's not as bad as... I mean, Hulk, I don't think he's a bad actor. I just think they didn't really know how to use him at that point. If they would have tried again, I think I could have made a great film with Hulk Hogan. If he was used the right way, I think he could have had a comeback in the 2000s as an actor. Hulk Hogan was kind of famous for, like, bombing in Hollywood and just being a terrible actor. At least when I was a kid, that was he sort of left wrestling to go be a movie star, and it didn't work. So he had to come back. Thunder in Paradise. So yeah, we lost the racist Hulk Hogan. We'll get into all that. Talk about the complicated legacy of the Hulkster. What else? Oh, I got some kind of not fun. Well, I don't know. I mean, I just got a message before I jump in here that my gig tomorrow night is postponed. So that kind of sucks. I was looking forward to it. It's a rooftop gig, you know. It was my winter. That was my winter. You know, and it's like, it's pretty, I mean, it's hot, but it's like perfect rooftop gig weather. So it kind of sucks. It got postponed. They didn't really say when. Sometime in the next couple of weeks or something, probably. But I think that's what the message said. It was some kind of DM. I also want to talk about the Hunter Biden interview. I don't know if people have people watched the Hunter Biden 3-hour plus. All I want to say is, where the fuck was this interview a year ago, 2 years ago? Now fucking Channel 5 is going to come out and do something positive for the Democrats. It's insane. It's just interesting to me how the public almost requires that you're like, have some kind of damaged past or something. You know, like now all these people are like, oh, I like Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden, Chet Hanks for 2028. Chet Hanks, obviously, is the other, you know, the internet just, like, it perceives that as authenticity or something. That the fact that you're, like, fucked up or damaged or, have a dark past. You know, Robert Downey Jr.'s like that. Trump is like that. Where it's like, it's because he's an asshole. It's because he runs his mouth, says shit you're not supposed to say, that people are like, this is real. I like this guy. You know, like Hunter Biden just drops the fucking F-bomb 1,000 times in this interview. It's awesome. He talks about smoking crack. And he goes into detail about, you know, I don't want to tell anybody how to make crack, but if you get, like, baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, and so it's like that. I don't know if that's America, if it's just like there's so many fucking people that have done meth or done crack or fucked up their lives or totaled their car or whatever it is. But it's just like, we almost require that. You know, it's like, why didn't they have Hunter Biden on fucking Joe Rogan? He's gonna have him on now. You know, it's because he gave this interview where he's like showing anger, but he's, you know, he really knows his shit too. That's the other part of it that's like impressive about it, is like, well, that's the other thing that like sells it. It's like he really knows a lot about Dred Scott and fucking Reconstruction and the history. I think he was a history, or he was a professor. He went to, I mean, he's the son of the fucking president, you know, and he's the son of a senator. And it's just like, the dude has been so fucking trashed in the media. He has been like this kind of like scapegoat Hunter's laptop, Hunter's laptop. You know, it's something that I mention as a joke a lot because it's like Hillary's emails. It's just one of these fucking things. It's just like completely a red herring. It's meaningless. And yet it's just Fox News all fucking day feeding this story. Hunter Biden's a crackhead. He's, you know, got all these shady kind of deals in Ukraine with energy and this and that, and the Biden crime family, trying to make Biden look like Trump, trying to make the Democrats look corrupt. I mean, I don't know that a lot of people are going to walk away from that interview thinking like Biden should still be president, but he made a lot of good points. And to be honest, like, I buy what he was saying about Biden was like, had been like on the plane and had taken Ambien and this and that. Like, the administration was doing fine. Whether or not Biden was like cognitively whatever capable is almost like it doesn't even matter. You know, as long as the fucking country is running smoothly, who gives a shit? The president can be in a fucking coma for all I care. As long as Donald Trump's not the president. I'd rather have Biden in a coma than what we've got now. But it's frustrating because the whole time Andrew Callahan, you can tell, I mean, Andrew Callahan chases that kind of journalism. He sort of purports to be a socialist but it's like his tack was more or less pro-Trump during the campaign. He gave Jill Stein a bunch of airtime, and he was very vocal about Gaza, right? That's something that, I mean, the interview is 3 fucking hours long. They should get Hunter Biden on some kind of Democratic talk show or something, podcast, because, like, he's one of the few people on the left. I think the left, you know, this is why people hate the left so much. It's because they're perceived as these kind of goody-goodies or, like, strategist, corrupt, Pelosi, Shifty Schiff, Schumer, and, you know, Hunter Biden just coming out and being this sort of dirtbag, but also, like, well-spoken, real, insulting George Clooney. That's all you have to do. People just hate any actor that fucking says anything about politics. So all you have to do is just, like, shit on fuck Alec Baldwin. You know, it's almost like the celebrities who speak out about politics do more harm than good because it's such a punching bag. You know, and this is why I'm not like super, you know, blown away by the South Park thing. It's like South Park could have come out and did this 10 fucking years ago. They're gonna come out now when it's way too fucking late and make fun of Trump. It's like, you gotta be, if they're such brilliant fucking satirists, they should have been on this the whole fucking time. South Park has contributed as much to this sort of apathetic, both sides, ification, the false equivalency in this country. That's just like all you fucking hear. All the Republicans have to do is get people to just like give up on the Democrats. Like, oh, the Democrats are just as bad. It's not, you know, we're not going to vote for the Biden crime family, Genocide Joe, and all this. Where the fuck are those people now? You know, that's one of the things they get into in the interview. They're talking about, you know, the plan for Gaza. It's literally, you know, the cost to transport 2 million fucking people is way too expensive. It's not logistically feasible to relocate the Palestinians, which is basically what Trump said they were going to do. You know, just like the operation of doing that, transporting these people, it's like, So they're obviously going to kill them. At least that's what I saw this thing today. It's like 20% of them have already been killed. 400,000 Palestinians have already been killed. Like, any case, you know, it's mysterious because we've heard. So he plays into the Channel 5. Channel 5 likes those sort of characters. These people that are sort of vilified or whacked, you know, like QAnon Shaman. They did a whole fucking, like, sympathy kind of article with QAnon Shaman where they kind of humanized QAnon Shaman. Talked about how he was sort of wrongfully accused. Or at least the punishment. You know, they were very sympathetic to you know, and in fact, I would say that guy's kind of bread and butter, is just like interviewing crazy fucking people that have wing nut shit to say, like Kobe Bryant was assassinated by the Clintons or whatever. You know, it's like that shit plays well on the internet because there's no fact checking, and it's insane. It's literally just like the most provocative, ear-grabbing thing you could fucking say. Is all these conspiracy theories, all this QAnon type shit. And so Channel 5 has always interviewed those people, platformed those people, these kind of like eccentric, like Joe Exotic type characters. Not Joe Exotic specifically, but like people that are like American, coloring outside the lines. But they're also like con men. They're also just like using their, you know, throwing off people off balance by being so fucking weird. I mean, this is kind of old news. It came out like 3 or 4 days ago, I guess, at this point. But I don't know. I think it would be smart for the Democrats to sort of just like adopt that somehow or figure out how to make that work for them. You know, the Hunter Biden thing, it's like they're, especially in this interview, it's like when you see it, it's like you see there's just like nothing to any of this. The laptop basically just says they have his digital footprint from the last 20 years. They've got his iCloud and shit, so they can find, you know, like think about if they found your fucking every cell phone picture you took. It's like there'd be plenty of stuff on there to fucking make you look like a dirtbag, probably. Fuck, I gotta sit down for a sec. Committed to bringing that high quality broadcast to our viewers that nobody watches. I mean, it's Friday night. People are probably out doing shit, I guess. For some reason, when I do this on my phone, like, you get less clicks. Oh yeah, I do want to talk about my comedy set on Tuesday. I was supposed to have this, well, I did the comedy set Tuesday, and then I was supposed to have this gig tomorrow, this rooftop thing. You know, so I had a whole kind of week scheduled. But anyway, this comedy set, thank you to Danny Fallon, shout out to Danny Fallon for having the guts to put me on. Which, after the set, it kind of is understandable why people don't put me on. So we went, it was at Luxor Lounge on McDougal. So I was doing comedy on McDougal Street, technically. Luxor Lounge, I don't know who exactly, but they've sort of like pioneered shows there. It's like a venue that they've sort of, because it's McDougal, there's Grizzly Pear, there's Greenwich Village Comedy Club, of course there's a Comedy Cellar, and then Bleeker's got a few more places, fucking Comedy Shop. And they're always trying to figure out other fucking, because that's just like basically probably the center of comedy in the fucking English speaking world, that street. but the culture of it. So anyway, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't go out and do any open mics or anything. I figure on Mondays, it's like I'm being funny. That's like practice enough. With my bits, it's like, I don't know. I don't want to go out and do them a bunch of times and ruin them for myself. I want to be fresh. And well, also it's like these comedy open mics, they cost money, and I just really don't think they're even worth it, because you're really not set up to succeed. You go, you say your stuff in front of a handful of other people that are waiting for their turn, bitter comedians. They might laugh, but like they're also like attack dogs. They're all fucking bulldogs of like insult comedy. So anyway, 9 p.m. Luxor Lounge. I was looking forward to it. My return to comedy. I haven't done it in a few months. Doing some material. And so Ashley wanted to come along to see my act. I guess she claims to be a fan. She claims that she's like, you know. So anyway, we get to this place, Luxor Lounge, and it's hosted by two people. Danny Fallon's one of the hosts, and there's another host, but he wasn't going to be there. He had another spot. So it's like, I didn't know anybody there, literally. And they're all like, you know, 25-year-old fucking like Gen Z fucking cool girl comedians and shit. And they, you know, whatever. That's awesome. The comedy scene just attracts, because there's so much money in it. There's so many eyes on it. It just, you know, it's booming right now. So it just attracts, you know, all these fucking, and it's, so the competition is very present. And it's kind of driven by that. I mean, even though people are kind of supportive, like they will tear into you if they smell fear or if they smell bullshit. It's sort of a hazing, or like a way of weeding people out, or initiation or something. So anyway, I went on probably, I don't know, 8th or 9th or 10th. Everybody was good. They all had a pretty tight, but they were all making, because it was like there really weren't that many people there. We were in like the fucking bar. So it's like you come right in the front door and it's like, boom, there's the fucking comedy stage right in front of the fucking, like, everybody trying to get to the bar, it's a hookah bar. So I'm not necessarily sure it's ripe for comedy audience, but like it's McDougal Street. So there's like this predatory, like fringe comedy culture. People go to the Comedy Cellar, and so tourists that just like wander down there that don't know anything sort of get picked off by the barkers to do these shows at like Grizzly Pear or whatever. And they're just like the meanest comedians on earth. That's like part of it for some reason. They need to attack the audience. They need to dominate the room to get the room to shut up, to listen to their fucking jokes or whatever. A lot of them talked about like Fox News. This one guy was like a tutor. He was talking about how he tutors all these people whose parents are on Fox News. There's a lot of people from the South. Their parents are conservative, but they're like gay. They have plastic surgery, fake this or that. And I don't know, I guess a part of being a comedian is just like getting people to like you or something. So, you know, the scary part about comedy is like you literally just don't know what the fuck is going to happen when you get up there. You have no clue. I mean, for me, I don't even know what I'm going to say. I had my fucking set list and I worked on it. And I had like bits. I had Baby Mozart, of course. I don't know what it is. I get up there and I just start to sound like I'm trying to be a stand-up comedian or something. I sound like I'm trying to do bits. So anyway, I get up there and I'm going to lead with this joke Like at this point, like I said, I didn't think I knew anybody there. I'm probably 15 years older than everybody. I'm like this old man with a gray beard. Ashley's sitting there. We're just sitting there. And the comedians were like calling us out for some reason. They just feel like they need to attack anything that they're afraid of. And so we're sitting there, and this guy's like, the host is like, because I had sort of put my head like on Ashley, not to hide or anything. I was just sort of like resting my head. And the host is like, this guy's from, she was talking about Staten Island. She's like, this guy's from Staten Island. That's why he's putting his head in his girlfriend's armpit, because he's scared. It's like, no, just leave me alone. None of that's true. I'm not from Staten Island. You're scared because you're on stage. There's nobody here. There's 8 other comedians coming in and out. That's typical, you know. In a certain way, maybe that is the best training. Because the open mics and shit are so miserable that when you actually do have a show with real people, they're kind of nice. And so they kind of laugh at you. It's like, oh my God, this is actually easier than these fucking open mics where it's just like miserable other comedians who just like, it's like they're trained to just like rip you apart. I don't know if that's a new thing since comedy, but like, or since Trump, but it feels like comedy now is like fucking part of the Trump kind of mob of like abusive bullies that have been like weaponized by like his shitty manner and like him being a fucking aggressive dickhead. It just feels like that's what stand-up comedy, at least on McDougal Street. It's a bunch of little fucking pricky assholes trying to make, you know, roast people, make people feel like shit, confront people aggressively. It's really just like not fun for anybody who wants to get attacked. So anyway, Ashley ended up attacking me. She ended up heckling me. So I get up and I lead off with this bit. I have this new bit that I wanted to do. I was very excited about it. It's all about Roadhead. The bit is about how I love living in New York, but the worst part about living in New York is there's no Roadhead. And so as soon as I say the word Roadhead, Ashley starts fucking saying something. I don't even know what the fuck she was saying. Something about, no, that's not true, blah, blah, blah. People get Roadhead in New York. I wrote a poem about it. It's like she's talking right in the beginning of my shit. So it just kind of derailed the whole thing because people in the audience took her side. They thought, this guy's a fucking scumbag. They're all women. They're all like woke. Or I don't know. They're not really woke, but they're like, you know, vengeful. Kind of like a self-righteous. You know, they feel like because they're women, or I don't know, that I'm just like a piece of shit. All men are pieces of shit. Why do we even have to tolerate them? This guy's obviously a scumbag. She has, you know, she's his girlfriend. She's X, Y, or Z. She obviously has to be the good one. He's obviously the piece of shit. And so, it was whatever. I don't care. I mean, with comedy, it's like, that's kind of normal in a fucking crazy way. It's normal to actually just like get into an argument with the audience. At one point, the host started heckling me. It's very unusual for like the host of a show to heckle somebody who's on the show. And I don't think I was doing a bad job, really. It's just like, once Ashley started to fucking, it was just like she was tripping up every fucking thing I was trying to say. Everybody in the room saw that and just thought, this guy's fucking a bitch or a cuck or what the fuck is this? Like, he's letting his girl, you know, I couldn't really shut it down totally. I was able to sort of roll with it enough to get my fucking 8 minutes done or whatever, but like, I really didn't get to do any of my material that I rehearsed. Because I'd start to say something, and then she'd say something. It's just like I'd get into an argument, or somebody, I'd start yelling something at the audience. And so it's like, it just created like a bad vibe. It's just like, okay, I'm on stage and I'm like, now I'm going to be like arguing with people. But like that can happen. Like look at Michael Richards. It wasn't that bad. I didn't do anything that evil. I didn't Michael Richards out or anything, but like I don't know. That's part of what I like about doing it is it is this sort of like you're just confronting. I mean, you're in a room full of people that like just their point of view is so different than you. What am I going to say to them? It just seems to be something that I'm not able to do. Like say something that's going to get them on my side, get them thinking, oh yeah, that's true. They're just thinking, I got roadhead in New York. This is bullshit. This whole bit is bullshit. My joke was about car dependence, okay? It was about car dependent cities and how most of America is car dependent, so you get roadhead. New York City, we have mass transit, so not as much roadhead, I imagine. Probably since congestion pricing, especially. I'll bet, congestion pricing has really killed the amount of roadhead. I don't know. A lot of my bits are just like a word that I think is funny, like Baby Mozart. I do this Baby Mozart bit, and it's all about, it's just funny to say Baby Mozart. I don't know. Maybe that's why it doesn't work. I need to say just jokes about, I don't know. So anyway, thank you for having me. It was a blast. I had a blast, but it's just like, this is what's been going on in my life for the last 2+ years. It's just like, there's no point in even doing a show because Ashley will be there and she'll just cut me off at the knees probably somehow. And I won't get, there's just no point. Everybody's going to look at me like, what the fuck? It's like having a scene. It's like making a big scene in front of everybody. It's like having some big ugly scene. And it's like, that's amusing up to a point. It's sort of an Andy Kaufman. That was the bit, I guess. Guy gets heckled by his girlfriend. As we're walking out. So we stayed for a few more acts. I can't say I loved any other shit either. So the feeling's mutual. But, I look up about halfway through my set and Danny Fallon's at the bar. I'm like, oh shit. Well, he got here in time to see this. It could have been uglier. It could have been a lot worse. It wasn't that bad. But it's just frustrating because it's like I really didn't get to do... it turned into something else. It turned into just like a big explode. It was like a blowout. It was like getting blown out in a... And so, I don't know. That stuff is valuable. It's valuable to just like be embarrassed in front of 15 people. You see that it's not really a big fucking deal. And it's in retrospect, it's kind of hilarious. I don't know. At least something happened. It wasn't just crickets. So anyway, as we're walking out, because we didn't leave we left a couple people before the end. But as we're walking out, of course, the fucking comedian feels like he's got to say something. He's like, okay, see you later, have a good night. Dude, get a girlfriend that doesn't heckle you. It's like, maybe that's good advice. Maybe that's that guy's job as a comedian. But it's also like, dude, can't you just keep it to yourself? Like, it's none of your fucking business what is going on between me and my girlfriend. She heckles me because she loves me, okay? I understand that. And I don't know. It's like I don't know. I'm not going to impress anybody in that room anyway, probably. So why not just make it some kind of crazy piece of fucking performance art? Like everything else. Just scare the shit out of people or something. I don't know. So anyway, thanks Ashley. I bombed big time. It was the worst set since Kramer, probably. Well, that's not true. I've definitely seen a lot worse sets. It's like I said, it's really not unusual. This is one reason why I've cut the comedy for the most part of the open mic, because it's just like, it's just ugly, you know? And in the wake of the election, you see that it's like, this is bad. This is a net bad for society. So the same thing with people are talking about, like, there should be like a tax on podcast microphones. It's just like, just because you can get up on stage in front of people and run your fucking mouth, like, doesn't mean that you should. Like, you know, like anybody on the internet with a fucking microphone can appear like they're worth listening to. And you have no idea who they are. But it's just like, oh, they've got a podcast. They popped up in my TikTok feed. That looks legit. But it's like, you'll hear tons of shit that's like really not good to listen to, not a vetted, like, smart point of view, but you'll just be like, yeah, that sounds pretty reasonable actually, because this fucking dickhead said it on TikTok with no qualifications. I have no idea who he is. And so yeah, it's like, it's not unusual at the open mic for a comedian to tell the audience to shut the fuck up, or, you know, just like insult them in some really personal way. It's like, no one came for this. Like, you're supposed to be funny. You're not supposed to just like be mean to people. Like, something, I think I saw a video with Marin talking about that, about how something in comedy has changed, where it's like, it's been captured by that part of it. You know, like, there's always been roasting. There's always been Don Rickles and shit like that, but like, even the Shane Gillis thing, man. I was watching his ESPYs fucking monologue. It's just like, everything is race. He's just like, I was watching black women fight each other. It's like, dude, just because it's racist doesn't mean it's fucking funny. It's like, there's a part of it that you're missing. Like, it's supposed to be funny, you know? And it's like, people have lost that. And now it's just like, what's the meanest fucking thing I can say to you? Because that's like, gonna just like, it's like the internet encourages that, you know, with these fucking chat rooms or whatever, comment section, the anonymity of that. And then they get these fucking bots in the comments that are saying totally incendiary shit. You know, the internet and all of this shit, these apps are sort of a projection. They're a projection of the people who have programmed them. And the people who have programmed them are all racist South Park bros with a very shallow view of human fucking character. And so it's like, oh yeah, Elon Musk bought Twitter and he wants to enable all of the fucking ignorant bullies. He wants to reinstate them, all the white supremacists and all the fucking fabricators. And, I don't know. It's like, you can be funny without doing any of that stuff. It's just, it's shocking to me. It's a culture shock. That's what it's like. What do these tourists think? You know, is the Comedy Cellar like that? You go in the Comedy Cellar and comedians are just like gonna tear into you. Like, oh, you're sitting right here. You know, I'm gonna fucking just like, what's with you and your wife? I don't think you belong together. Get a new girlfriend. It's like, mind your own fucking business. Have some goddamn manners, or I don't know. There needs to be some kind of fucking. It's just like, who's that fun for? What kind of sick fucking people? You know, it's like, those are the people that have really been enabled by Trump. Fucking sadists. People who laugh at other people. Yeah, and so the Epstein files, they're all obsessed with that. Well, now South Park made a video about, I talked to people, fans of the stream, you may remember, I mentioned South Park like last week. I was talking about how all of the fucking dumbass South Park libertarians, what's going to happen. Of course, Paramount gave South Park whatever they wanted because they understand that that's like a huge... I also wanted to talk about, because this is another thing I mentioned in the last stream, this talking point about Colbert was losing $40 million a year, and that's why they fired him. That sounds like some fucking bullshit to me that they're feeding the media. So everybody goes, oh, it wasn't political. He's losing money. That's economics. That's America. You got to make money. He's losing money. He gets fired. It's like the thing about these talk shows and that brand and shit, it's soft power, right? It's a form of fucking soft power for the network. It's like an advertisement for CBS. It gives them a brand and it gives them an anchor content-wise in late night, blah, blah, blah. And so to say that they're losing $40 million a year on it, it's like, okay, there's tons of shit like that where it's like, well, they're spending that much money, but it's like you can't really quantify the positive effect it's having. Like on paper, it might look like, and this is like true of a lot of the government shit that they cut, like all these peace programs or like feeding the fucking children. That's all like soft power, right? Like Hunter Biden talks about that in that interview because a lot of the work he worked for those type of organizations. That's why he's traveling everywhere. That's why he had relations. He was involved with energy and shit like that. He wasn't like some kind of spy that was fucking like making deals with Ukraine, which is how they posed it. They posed it like, oh, he's selling all this horrible artwork and it's like money laundering because it's shitty artwork. And like the Ukraine is buying it and they're laundering fucking like whatever, I don't know, a bribe to the Bidens. It just sounds like some kind of James Bond shit, or it sounds like conspiracy. People are more prone to believe that shit. That's what's so crazy about it. It's like if it's not tarnished, if it's not like a gossip, then it's like they don't want it. If it's Hillary, if it's Joe Biden, if it's Kamala, they don't want it. But they want like the crackhead who like is a fuckboy who, you know, or they want Trump who's like sort of not perfect, let's say, in his sort of like public image. But I think it's pretty fucking cowardly that South Park waited, 10 fucking years, because they've always been apathetic politically and they've enabled the sort of like both sides argument. And we get it. Both sides are shit. But like the Democrats are not controlled opposition. They're actually trying to govern. It's just the Republicans fuck up everything they do. Mitch McConnell, they didn't put in fucking right Obama's Supreme Court justice. It's like the Republicans do not play fairly. They fucking will win at all costs. They're not interested. Their whole narrative is that the government sucks. So the more the government sucks, the more their narrative makes sense to people. Like, just get rid of it. Get rid of it. That's their whole goal, is to get rid of it, is to privatize everything. So they want you to think the government sucks. The Democrats are actually trying to do things and make it work. Yeah, they might be fucking boring. They might be like Hillary, these career politician, or Biden, or whoever, Kamala. They're not charismatic reality fucking TV stars. They're bureaucrats, sort of. That's not a bad thing. It's the government. It's supposed to just work in the background, and you're not supposed to worry about it. But they've managed to convince people that Trump and Biden are the same, and Kamala would do the same shit that Trump is doing, and blah, blah, blah. Drop bombs on Iran and genocide in Gaza and all that. And so here we are. So thanks a lot, South Park. Thanks, Matt and fucking Trey. Remember they had the, it's the difference between like a douche and a turd sandwich. It's like, well, not exactly. The Democrats are at least like food. It might not be the best food. It might be like some kind of school lunch peanut butter and jelly fucking sandwich or something. But it's like the Republicans are literally like a fucking cyanide fucking sandwich. Like, they are actively, and I think that's, everybody sees that now. Like, they're actively trying to fucking kill us, basically. That seems to be their plan. And so, gee, thanks a lot, South Park. 6 months after the fucking election. And they just made the same fucking commentary everybody has been making about Trump for fucking 10 years, about his penis is small. And look at his fat, gross, orange body. It's like, yeah, we've seen that one a million fucking times already. It wasn't like some groundbreaking piece of fucking satire. I'm just sick of people like living their goddamn life by goddamn South Park, because they've always been conservative leaning, even if they are quote unquote libertarians. You know, anybody who calls himself a fucking libertarian is a Republican, essentially, from what I've seen. That basically means that they don't want the government to bother them at all. And they don't care if fucking gay people get married or something. Okay. And so, like, it's been a privilege that people have, like that, have had their whole life, that, like, they don't give a fuck about politics, or they can just say, oh, it's both sides. They're the same. It doesn't matter who wins. It's all the same. It's like, that is fucking privilege. Maybe not to you, fucking, you know, creators of South Park who grew up in suburban Colorado or whatever. But to, like, to a lot of people, it's going to fuck up their lives. And not just people in Gaza. You know, people in the fucking United States are going to lose their fucking health care, are going to have to fight in wars, are going to be traumatized, are going to be injured, are going to suffer, are going to lose their fucking food stamps, or... That wouldn't have happened if you would have just voted the other fucking way. But they spend a lot of money and energy trying to convince people not to vote, and that the Democrats are just bullshit. And it's frustrating, because in my lifetime, that's not what I've seen. Every time the Democrats are in power, they balance the budget. Things stabilize financially. Things sort of get back on track. It's like, is that bad? Is that all bad? Every time. If you look at the statistics, you see it. Clinton's in office. Boom, budget surplus. Things fucking stabilize. George Bush comes in office. Everything goes to shit. We're in fucking war. Patriot Act. Tax cuts. The fucking recession came at the end of Bush's term. That wasn't a fucking coincidence. Then Obama gets in. Everything stabilizes. You know, things sort of feel optimistic. Gee, I wonder why that is. Huh. Maybe it might have fucking something to do with the fact that our president isn't like a former fucking CIA person who's actively trying to destroy the country in fucking like private interest to make rich people richer so people can keep their fucking inheritance and pass wealth along generations. That's what this whole fucking Skydance thing is. It's just another example of Nepo baby shit. This Larry Ellison guy is one of the richest people on earth. He's going to buy TikTok. He's just a tech fuckface. And so he bought Paramount for his kid, who is probably an asswipe because he's Larry Ellison's kid. Larry Ellison was already an asswipe. Now he's a billionaire. So his kid is going to be raised, you know, with no fucking perspective on anything. He probably grew up watching goddamn South Park and loving it. And now he owns it. So, of course, they're going to do whatever they have to do to appease South Park. But it's just like a toy. It's like some royal fucking twerp like Joffrey's toy. Like, he doesn't really give a fuck what happens. His daddy bought it for him. So now he gets to put all his stupid ideas out there, and we have to suffer for it. Get rid of the Late Show. Who knows what they're going to do? You know, you see this in every business where these fucking billionaires, it's, you know, it's the tail wagging the dog, where it's like, it's not quality or functionality like leading anything. It's like, oh, this is what a rich person wanted to do, so that's what we're going to do. This is what Elon wanted. So we're going to do a Cybertruck. We're going to get these Cybertrucks. They don't even fucking work. They're pieces of shit. They fall apart. But, like, he's a billionaire and a genius. So, like, we're going to do this. We're going to fucking get these things everywhere. They're totally impractical garbage. It's the in-shitification, right? It's not just that they're cutting corners, but it's that they think that they know everything because they're tech gods. And so, you know, Skydance, what a shitty fucking name for a company, bought Paramount, which is, you know, this fucking studio that's been around for 100 years, Indiana Jones. You know, it's like the result of market practices and the real fucking world and executives making fucking, I don't know, magical decisions like Jack Warner or something. But now it's just going to be some retarded fucking Nepo babies plaything. So no more Colbert. He's got to be the sacrifice. Hulk Hogan died. Well, you know, that's interesting too, right? Because Hulk Hogan was weirdly sort of the spearhead of the whole Peter Thiel fucking shit, right? Because Peter Thiel was the one who bankrolled Hulk Hogan's lawsuit against Gawker. And that was sort of the beginning of the end of, like, the media in a certain way. And, like, free speech. Because it was like, Hulk Hogan was a piece of trash. Like, let's just be honest. Like, he was a piece of shit. I mean, I think it's one of these things where you have to separate the artist from the artist. Which, you know, I don't know. To be honest, I think that's the case a lot of times. But, you know, Hogan had this racist sex tape that Bubba the Love Sponge leaked on Gawker. And so they sued the fuck out of Gawker. He could have never done that on his own. He was used just like J.D. Vance, just like Trump. He was sort of a reality star fucking celebrity that they used to spearhead their own interests, which was to, you know, I think Peter Gawker, like, was the one who exposed him as being gay. They had some story. He was in the closet, and Gawker, like, leaked that he was gay. And so I think he had personal hatred. I used to read Gawker. I mean, talk about peak 2000s. I would read Gawker, like, fucking religiously. Like, 2007, 2008. I love the Gawker Stalker, which was a map of celebrity sightings. People would send in celebrity sightings in New York. Oh my God, I saw George Clooney at Bungalow 8. So then they'd put, you know, he looked older in person or whatever the fuck. So then Gawker Stalker would put that, like, on a Google map. Which, you know, from somebody in Columbus, Ohio, that was like, oh shit, this is sort of like a window into New York or whatever. Window into the dream world, the God realm. And so, I liked Gawker. It seemed like one of the last kind of, like, cool media things. You thought that's how that was going to be, like, the future of, like, reporting. Like, Gawker really did feel like they're, like, they got reporters and they're out and they're on the street. They got Hamilton Nolan or whatever. They're doing like, you know, it's like the fucking sweet smell of success or something. That old-fashioned Fifth Estate type shit. And it's just like that, just all, I mean, I guess it sort of went into, like, BuzzFeed and shit like that, BlazeVox or something, Vice maybe. But now it's just like, what, all those people are probably on TikTok or something, or Substack, I guess. Where are we? Columbus, okay. We're on the Upper West Side here for those who are keeping track at home. So yeah, I had a blast at my comedy show, but it's also just like, oh God. Uh, it sucks going out and doing it and getting sabotaged by, you know, the people that you brought or whatever. Okay, I watched There Will Be Blood. Maybe I'll talk about that a second. Because I saw it in the theater, I think. I'm pretty sure I saw it in the theater. We watched a bunch of shit this week. Because I thought I had this gig tomorrow night. But it got postponed. So Ashley would not watch There Will Be Blood. She's not a P.T. Anderson fan. So I watched it secretly. Or while she was gone. And I saw it in the theater, and I really didn't like it. I've never been, like, a huge P.T. Anderson guy, to be honest. You know, there's something... He just seems kind of like the coolest rich kid in the school. And he's got everything. He's got drugs. He does cocaine in high school. And his dad, you know, he's just like... He just seems like he was way too hip as, like, a 16-year-old. And all of his movies feel like... I'm just not that kind of person, you know? Like, I'm a nerd. I never did drugs, really. And I don't know. It's like... There's a lot that but you know, lately I've been thinking about this movie in my head. And, I mean, it's Daniel Day-Lewis. And, like, I do think Daniel Day-Lewis is, like... maybe the best actor of all time, to be honest. I think he might actually be better than Marlon Brando, actually. I mean, when you're watching this fucking movie, it's just like... I think he almost set the trend for, like, the next few years of fashion, because it's like, that was sort of the beginning of... kind of like people like dressing like prospectors and shit like that, you know, hipsters. There was this thing, I remember seeing this picture on the internet in like 2008. It was two guys in a Starbucks, but they looked like they were like Walt Whitman and Henry David Thoreau, you know, they like the guys in like Fleet Foxes and shit. They dressed like they were like you know, like naturalist transcendentalists from like the 1850s. They had giant beards and overalls and like not wearing shoes. And so Daniel Day-Lewis in that movie, he's got this whole like his mustache, his type of masculinity, like that throwback. But it's just like, it's hard to imagine, you know, how fucking tough those people must have been. You know, he falls down the fucking well, he breaks his leg. The whole time I'm watching the movie, I'm just thinking, this is about Iraq. Or like, because it was made during Bush era. It came out 2007. And that was sort of lost to me. When I saw it in theaters, I just thought, this is kind of boring. It's memorable. There's a lot of it. I mean, the scene where he's like, I'm abandoned my child. I remembered a lot of it. You know, and so I've sort of been thinking about it recently. I've sort of reassessed P.T. Anderson. I like him now. I get it now. I get why he's, like, so respected. Because he is incredible. I mean, it is a fucking unbelievable movie. The score, Johnny Greenwood, right? I remember when it came out, the score was, like, revolutionary. At least it felt that way. It felt like, oh, my God, we've never heard a movie score quite like this. Now it kind of felt, I don't know. Certain parts of it kind of felt a little too movie-ish. And it's almost like a silent movie. It kind of felt like The General or something. It felt like a Buster Keaton movie. The way that they used the screen, and there's all these trains, and so much of it plays out without dialogue. The first 15 minutes, there's no dialogue. I think Terrence Malick had to have seen it and been influenced by it, because there were things about it that remind me of like Tree of Life that I'm like, Terrence Malick probably. But it also felt so much like Days of Heaven. That was the thing I sort of missed about it the first time. Is like it's a lot like Days of Heaven. It's kind of the same time period. A lot of it's outdoors. They work outdoors. It's beautiful cinematography. Natural, probably. It's very Kubrick. It does feel like that he's trying to kind of channel Kubrick or something at certain points, with kind of the objectivity of it, but it's also a Western, and it's also like Treasure of the Sierra Madre or something. Like it's sort of like a neo or like a new version of that. This was all stuff that like when I saw it, I didn't really get. The characters are incredible. It's based on a book. So once again, you can sort of feel like the novelization under there. I'm trying to get one of these $5 chicken sandwiches. My friend was telling me about these $5 chicken sandwiches up here. So, not to postpone my gig. I've got to like fucking make some shit happen on my own. So I'm going to go to this open mic. Here it is. Look at that shit. See, now that's fucking style right there. That's what New York is all about right there. That's why we love the uptown vibe. Check this out. They got their own little car that they drive around with a sign on it. I guess they drive it places. Maybe they just keep it parked there all the time. Yeah, so I mean, the whole time I'm watching There Will Be Blood, I'm like, this is some kind, it's like, it's about Iraq, but it's not. It's obviously not about Iraq in any way. But it's like, it's all there. The themes of what that war was about. The desert, oil, God, right? Like, that's kind of the prime conflict or complication for him, right? Is Eli Sunday. Daniel Day-Lewis kind of represents just like pure capitalism. He will do anything to make as much money as possible. He's buying up all the shit. He's drinking up your milkshake. I think it's incredible that James Downey is in it from Saturday Night Live. Even when I saw it in 2007 or whatever, when it came out, I recognized Jim Downey from just like all the skits over the years that he's been in. He's kind of like a comedy legend. But before the internet, it was a little harder, or before, I don't know, YouTube kind of exploded, it was harder to kind of like trace that stuff. So you're like, that's fucking Jim Downey. That's kind of crazy. He's in this fucking Paul Thomas Anderson movie. He's got like a real part. Like he's from 1902 or whatever. But sure enough. All right, how do I get one of these fucking sandwiches? How do I get one of these goddamn chicken sandwiches? See, it's, everybody's out tonight. I think it's this place, right? Yeah, Tiki Chick. This is it, right? Tiki Chick. They have these fucking chicken sandwiches. See if they have a drive-thru or something. This is the fucking carry-out line? We'll see. We'll fucking see. Yeah, so it's like the whole fucking movie is like, it's got those themes in it. Daniel Day-Lewis doesn't believe in God at all. He doesn't believe in, he just thinks all the religious stuff is bullshit. mean, the other thing that surprised me about it is just like how suspenseful it is. It's like I was really watching it, and I was more kind of like following every little story beat, and you can see why his character he doesn't seem like that bad of a guy, like at the beginning of the movie. Like, he's with the kid, and you're like, oh, he's taking care of the kid, he's kind of loving toward the kid. Maybe he's not like a total fucking monster like Bill the Butcher. To me, they're kind of like, those are two like just monumental performances. Gangs of New York and There Will Be Blood. There's certain things about the There Will Be Blood movie that like there's certain things about P.T. Anderson's aesthetic that I don't totally love. Or like I don't identify with, or like hold dear or something. Look at this. Comrade Mamdani will destroy New York City. $30 minimum wage. Money doesn't grow on trees, Orhan. Watch as prices skyrocket. Watch businesses flee, hollowing out New York City even more than COVID did. Watch small shops shut down for good. Watch families, watch your city crumble. Jesus Christ. Who fucking paid for that psyop smear campaign? I do have to get one of these chicken sandwiches somehow. Do you wait in line to order, or how does this work? There's people waiting in line to get in the bar? I don't know. It is fucking hot out. I will say that. It's humid. So it's like a thick hot. And then there's just pieces of dialogue. I don't know what it is about Daniel Day-Lewis, but certain pieces of dialogue just get lodged, like bastard in a basket. And then I drink up your milkshake, right? I mean, like, his dad was a poet, right? Cecil Day-Lewis. So maybe that's the poet. He just knows how to say it to make it immortal.
Okay, guys, like the next couple blocks. You want to hit that tiki bar right there?
Bastard in a basket. So to me, that movie is just sort of about capitalism, how capitalism just rots you out. He's got a big empty house. That's how these movies always end. It's like a dude in a big empty house firing his guns, shooting furniture, just using like the biggest mansion you've ever seen as like a shooting gallery. That's how I don't know, I can't think of it right now. I'm too high. I'm too fucking high. Too fucking high. Jesus Christ. Was there anything else I needed to talk about? I mean, I'm all over the place. I feel like people do not like the walking streams as much as the sitting and talking streams. These generally get less views even after the fact. People don't really watch them later. They're shorter. That's part of it, I guess. Okay, what the hell else happened? The open mic was awesome on Monday. It just kind of had all the magic ingredients. I don't know what happened. Well, we started earlier. Well, you know what was really special? So I thought we'd do a treat for everybody because it's summer vacation. We needed to play some games, do some recreation, get some exercise, some fresh air. So at the beginning of the open mic, we played Heads Up 7 Up, which, is a game. I don't know if everybody knows this game, but we played it like in elementary school. Typically, probably not after middle school, but you put your head down on your desk and people go around the room tapping people on shoulders. And you have to guess who tapped you on the shoulder. That's basically the premise of the game. So it was sort of like a game show. It's the first thing I've ever done that's like a game show. And so it was sort of like a way to ease into like crowd work. You know, where it's like this game, we're playing this game, so I'm talking to everybody about the game. It's not just like, I'm, hey, where are you from? What do you do? How do you guys know each other? It's like, we're playing this game. Hey, you know, what's your name? Where are you from? And so as soon as I said it, the audience kind of like, it was definitely a reaction. So people remembered it. It's a fun ass game. I don't know why it's so fun or why it just kind of disappears from your life. Like you play it a few times in elementary school and it's always like one of the most fun days, right? Is like when you get to play Heads Up 7 Up, because it's a very simple game. It's not really, I mean, what's so fun about it? I'm not sure, but it's very peaceful. It's quiet. It's like a quiet game. You have to be silent so you don't give away, you know, who's tapping who. But it's also like flirtatious, sort of, because it's like you're probably tapping somebody that like you like or something. Or there's that, it serves that purpose if you want it to serve that purpose. You could use it as a way to like secretly insinuate to somebody that you like them. Which in elementary school, there's all kinds of ways that we're trying to figure out how to tell somebody that we like them without just like saying it. There should be dating classes for children. I know that sounds bad, but like I would have done a lot better as a kid if they would have just laid out a few things. You know, like you don't need to be so afraid of the opposite sex. There's ways to like, I remember one time I was in middle school, somebody called me on the phone, landline, right? This was back before the internet and shit. And I pick up the phone, hello? Yeah, is this Matt Proctor? Yeah. Rachel blah 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 likes you. Click. That was the whole fucking phone call. I didn't do anything with that piece of information. If I would have known what I know now, I could have capitalized on that intel. But I was 12, so nothing ever happened. I could have gone on a date with her. That would have been good for me, probably. I had no idea how to make that happen. I don't know. Maybe kids today are on dating apps or fucking sliding in the DMs. God knows what. They're growing up too fast. But I mean, when you're 7 years old, it's like, Jesus Christ, I have a crush on this person. This is like, there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. I have to like make a, I mean, that's what we did when we were in school. Write it on a piece of paper or something. Who knows what these Gen Alpha psychos are doing with their Skippity, Ohio. All of that shit. Sorry, my fucking, my crutch just came out of my pinner here. So I'm trying to reinsert the crutch. We're attempting a reinsertion here. Okay, so what else the fuck do we need to talk about? I can't believe my gig got postponed. I think that's what the fucking DM. That was the, I think, the conclusion that I was led to. So I don't know. Hulk Hogan died. Ozzy died. Malcolm Jamal Warner died. Do Trump next. Let's just get it over with. Just kill him. Hogan, and I think I saw like the astrological chart of Hogan and Trump. They're both Leos, or I think. Or Trump's not a Leo. He's a Gemini, maybe. It was just his birthday, like in June, I think. Is he a Taurus? I think he's a Gemini. But Well, the Epstein thing, right? Like, people think supposedly they saw Trump, or like just Ghislaine met with Trump's attorney or some shit. And so it's pretty obvious to see what the fuck is happening here. I mean, I think the first time Trump ran, he was such a joke that people were kind of skeptical. There weren't that many people that on board. Was like, now there's a lot of people that are organized. They're corporate. They're savvy, kind of like money making, high up, people. And so they have an interest in keeping him in charge. And this Maxwell thing, I mean, think about it. Earlier this week, it looked like, oh shit, the heat is on this motherfucker. He's finally been caught. And now you can already see the fucking, it's starting to wane. Like Trump himself says, right? Like 2 weeks. He's designed, because he was trained in reality television to keep these kind of sensationalistic storylines occurring regularly every 2 weeks, every few days. Iran, boom. Whatever the hell it is. Big beautiful bill, boom. Now it's this fucking Epstein thing. Not that he chose for this to come out, but like, we're just on this kind of rotating fucking, what's the next episode gonna be? What's the next fucking twist in the fucking Tony Soprano final season or whatever? The final season of Trump. We're waiting. When the fuck are they gonna play Don't Stop Believing already? How does it end? I gotta see how this fucking guy's narrative arc fucking runs into a windshield. So anyway, it seems like, well, they're kind of like gonna dump it on Pam Bondi. She'll probably take they just fired Comey's daughter. She was like the fucking head lawyer of this. And then I just saw one of Epstein's lawyers died. That was on the front page of the New York Times. I mean, he was 80 years old, but like, still kind of fucking sus. And, although his supporters really seem to, this is like their number one issue, the MAGA people, but like, they're easily diverted. All you have to do is like head fake. And so now they're already, they're already setting up the Clintons and Obama and all of that shit to sort of take the brunt of this. And, the narrative is already like, well, they don't want to release the files because they're all in it. And I gotta say, it is absolutely fucking insane. Like, if you were a fucking Republican, okay, if you voted for these fucking people, how do you explain, is it okay with you that instead of voting to release the Epstein files, they just decided, you know what, we're going to shut the whole fucking thing down for the summer, and we're not going to come back till September, and we're not going to deal with it now, we're just going to push it under the fucking rug and it'll go away. We're just going to, brush all the fucking dirty clothes under the bed. And, they'll forget about it. We'll never have to fucking deal with it. And, is that okay with you? These people are so fucking concerned with the Epstein list. That is Speaker Johnson who decided to do that. Who decided, you know what? We're just going to kill this for the summer. We're going to go home. Do you get 2 months off in summer at your job where you just like, you don't have to face responsibilities or uncomfortable fucking confrontations? Do you get to do that? Because that's what they're doing. There's like, peace out. Fuck the fucking, fuck if anybody cares about this. Like, and they're going to get away with it. Trump, people are saying this is his Watergate. like I said, they're already, I mean, it is interesting, this bifurcation with the Wall Street Journal and Fox News, where like the Wall Street Journal is sort of actively trying to like bring his ass down, like feeding the story, whereas Fox News is sort of like trying to rescue and like pinning it on Clinton and whatever, Pam Bondi, Hillary, obviously. It's obviously fucking Hillary. I mean, are we serious? It's obviously fucking Hillary. I mean, give me a break. Hey, what's up? Are you going to the thing? You're not going? All right, I'll be back. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, so. How am I going to do this? Oh, I got to get one of these fucking sandwiches. How much longer is this goddamn battery going to last? I'm going to do it till I have 20%, then I'm going to be done. Yeah, I mean, the idea being that like the Wall Street Journal is sort of for educated right-wing people, but it's still part of the Murdoch empire. It's sort of for the elites, the finance people. I mean, it's the Wall Street Journal, for Christ's sake. Whereas like Fox News is the dog food for the idiots. And it's completely a psyop. It's completely propaganda. And, the Hunter Biden thing goes into that nicely because he, the example of what they did to him and how they create these fucking narratives that, just like ruin the guy's life and just like are self-perpetuating. Yeah, it's just like they can hit that fucking button anytime. Oh my God, Hunter's laptop. What about Hunter's laptop? Fuck the Epstein files. I think the Epstein files are on Hunter's laptop. I found them. I found the Epstein files. They're in Hunter's laptop. They were in Hillary's emails. We found them. Bill Clinton was on the Lolita Express more than anybody. Trump was just getting a ride. They're both from Palm Beach. He's just hitching a ride. I mean, I hope they're right. I hope this is the thing that kind of sinks his ass and makes him go away. I think they want to hold out with him until, they've already got 60% of this Project 2025. I think they want to hold out until they've already gotten most of what they need to happen. I mean, who knows how far they want to take it. I think they'll take it as far as they can. They will use him they'll ride the fucker until the wheels fall off. They will use him until it breaks. I don't think he's going to he's not going to get caught for anything. He's already said he can pardon Ghislaine Maxwell. He said he can do it if he wants to. He's allowed to do it. And so they're saying that Ghislaine is going to rat certain people out and say that Trump is innocent in exchange for a pardon, which he's allowed to do. He's totally allowed to do that. I think that, his people are they'll be fine with that. They don't give a shit. I mean, his name is already in the files. Like, what difference does it make if they release it and blah, blah, blah? It's like there's pictures of them together. There's videos of them together. There's plenty of proof that they're bros. They're tight. They're cocksmen. It's like wedding crashers. Seeing these videos of Epstein and Trump, it's like Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. It's like they're just fucking cruising. And so I believe the women, they're still out there. They could be getting these women to testify. you know. But instead they subpoenaed Bill and Hillary because they want to grill them about the Lolita Express and how they ate children. So I think, you know, he's never been held accountable for anything. The Supreme Court has already said that he's above the law, basically. The president, if the president does it, it's legal. That's basically their argument. If the president does it, it's not illegal. And so I think we're probably stuck with the asshole until he dies, which could be soon. I mean, Ozzy died, Hogan died. And I mean, to be honest, like, I am not surprised at all Hulk Hogan died. I heard the other day that he died. And I looked on Reddit and I couldn't find anything. But I heard the other day I saw somebody said Ozzy and Hogan died. And I was like, oh, fuck, Hogan died? And I looked it up and he was still alive. But it's like, dude, he was a wrestler. You know, and he was one of the biggest pieces of shit amongst a lot of pieces of shit. But it's like all of those guys die when they're like 40. You know, look at fucking Davey Boy Smith. He died at like 38. They all, it's a very, you know, Macho Man has been dead for what, 10 or 15 years already. Like, very few of them are still alive. Scott Hall, it's a miracle Ric Flair's still alive. But like, you know, just paying attention to Hogan's public appearances recently, you've seen him kind of decline. And like, I mean, he was on Fox News a month and he looked like he was dead. He had that kind of like, his eyes were like bulging out of his skull and shit. So it's really not a surprise. It's not a shock that the steroid addict, the racist anabolic steroid, I mean, 71, to be honest, you know, is a pretty good age, considering, you know, what the guy did his whole life with his body. Sometimes we wrestled 400 days a year. He said that he would fly past the international date line, so he'd actually, days would be added to the calendar. Because he'd go back in time when he'd go to Japan. So he actually wrestled 400 days in a year. I believe Hogan, okay? I like Hogan. I think he's hilarious. I think he's kind of the ultimate, like, bad guy. His character is just so, like, dumb and... But it's like he had the two most legendary fucking runs anybody's ever had. In the 80s, I was there as a kid, right? As a kid, I mean, in my life, under the age of 5, there was no more cultural figure that was more influential or important than Hulk Hogan. No question. Hulk Hogan was like the center of our lives. When I was 3 fucking years old, we worshipped Hulk Hogan. Jesus Christ. Like, it was so exciting. We went and saw live wrestling shit to see Hulk Hogan. I don't know what it was. Hulk Hogan had some goddamn thing. Who the fuck knows? It was sort of before I was fully conscious. So I don't really remember what Hulk Hogan's appeal was, but... I mean, I kind of do. I get it. I get he appeals to people with no brain. Because you're 3 years old, you don't understand anything about life. You don't know any words. Hulk Hogan's like, wow, this guy's awesome. He's huge. And so, but then, the NWO fucking storyline in the 90s completely reignited wrestling's kind of, it suddenly became interesting again. You know, wrestling, you sort of go in and out of periods where you watch it or not. I don't watch wrestling regularly other than like clips that show up in my TikTok. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot to just like hang your hat. I'm not really that into CM Punk. I don't like Roman Reigns. John Cena just fucking retired. I didn't even watch him. You know, like when Cena started, that's when I wasn't that was already after I'd stopped watching. So like, I gotta say, since the merger, everybody thought this like whatever the fuck it was. See if Rahm Emanuel's brother like buying wrestling. What is it? CAA or Endeavor, some fucking big talent agency bought both the WWE and like UFC, right? So now they're like conjoined into one thing under like Hollywood agents. Doesn't sound like a great setup to me, but what do they know about wrestling? They need Cornette in there. Get Cornette in there. He'll fix wrestling. I do love Cornette. I think he's one of the top social commentators alive. He's definitely one of the top 3 people on YouTube. But it hasn't seemed to me like since Triple H took over and they Me Too'd Vince McMahon, it doesn't seem like wrestling has like gotten good again. It hasn't like popped up in my feed like, whoa, shit, look at this. Wrestling is like actually really amazing. It's like, it's all fucking, what's the guy? Not Dustin Runnels. Who the fuck is Seth? Who's the blonde guy who's Dusty Rhodes' kid? The younger one. I can't think of his fucking name right now. I don't watch wrestling that much, you know. It seems kind of shitty, like always. But anyway, Hulk Hogan died. I mean, he is a giant. He is a legend. He is the, you know, he's the, for my money, he's probably the most, I don't know, important wrestler. You know, like Hogan was the one that really made it all possible. He took it from being this kind of regional thing to like being like, you know, Michael Jackson, MTV level fucking pop culture phenomenon.
I'm never gonna let him talk to me like that.
And like pop culture art form, you know, like I do think it's an incredible art form, and I do think Hogan was great at it. I think he was a great wrestler. He was kind of you know, his name's Hulk Hogan. He's 6'8". I don't think his move set was that, you know, it's like the leg drop kind of sucks, but like he had a little bit of in-ring psychology when he wanted to. I don't know. To me, in retrospect, I hated Nitro when it was on. I fucking hated Hogan. I hated the NWO. I hated the Wolfpack. I hated the LWO. I hated all of the NWOs. I hated all of the WOs. But in retrospect, now that I don't have to watch it anymore, it's kind of, I mean, Hogan's the ultimate clown. His mustache and his grease paint, his Oakley shades. He's an iconic, and he ripped his whole shit off superstar Billy Graham. So it's the perfect American story. It's like he didn't even come up with it. He stole it off somebody else. I think he would do anything to stay on top. And but I don't think he's as bad as a guy in a certain way. Like you can tell Hogan, it's like I mean, him and Flair are super tight. Flair like was weeping. Did people see these videos of Ric Flair? I mean, he was literally like, Flair was not being able to keep his shit together. Flair was really, grief-stricken. And I mean, they're the two people that could, that's like, you know, they're the only people that could understand each other, really, what it's like to be that iconic. We watched this movie, The Wrong Man, with Kevin Kline. Kevin Kline really doesn't do that many movies, you know, in the last 25 years. I don't even know how many movies, but he was a great star. You know, and when I was in high school, I mean, Kevin Kline, he was like one of my favorite actors. Dave, I love that movie. Fish Called Wanda, of course. I mean, it's one of the funniest all time. He won an Oscar. But he also has this pedigree of like Shakespeare, right, and New York and public theater and Gilbert and Sullivan and shit. So he kind of was the ultimate leading man, light comedy. He could kind of do it all. Maybe he's not Daniel Day-Lewis, but you know, he's a good actor. You can, you know, he really does, and especially with comedy, he's hilarious. You know, his backstory, I don't know that much about it, but it's kind of, you know, he's been in New York since like at least the 70s. He dated Patti LuPone. I was watching these videos about Patti LuPone talking about Kevin Kline when they were younger. They were like theater kids, basically. He's a theater kid. But I guess he retired or something. He really doesn't do films very often. And so, but he's in this movie, The Wrong Man, which was directed by, I didn't realize it, but it's sort of based on like a Jonathan Ames. Which Jonathan Ames is kind of I don't know if people really know him. He did Bored to Death. I went on a date with a girl once who had dated Jonathan Ames. He's sort of like a New York presence, you know, but he's comedic. His books are like, they're easily adaptable because they're just like really, I don't know, shocking, or characters, you know, things happen. And this was a very good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. Ashley didn't even watch it, I don't think, but I recommend it. The Wrong Man, Kevin Kline, and Paul Dano. We've been watching all these fucking Paul Dano movies for some reason. Just because they're easy to watch, or I don't know. We watched that movie Ruby Sparks. It was bullshit. Ashley said it was magical realism, but The Wrong Man was excellent. It was sort of about like a lost New York. The character that Kevin Kline plays is sort of this eccentric. Paul Dano plays this young man from Princeton who comes to Manhattan to like be a novelist. And so he gets a room with Kevin Kline, who's this elderly kind of eccentric playwright who's, you know, sort of like one of those old New York characters, the kind that don't really exist anymore because it's too expensive. Now it's just a bunch of fucking rich people, a bunch of tech people with, you know, ID keypads on their apartment buildings. But it's like this, you know, he collects these Christmas bulbs. He's to the right of the Pope when it comes to sex. He's like asexual. So he's like this kind of 20th century New York character. He's colorful. He's kind of snobby. He's very particular. You know, he's like, it's almost like a Seinfeld character. It's almost like a Tennessee Williams. You know, he's sort of like Taylor Mead, or like one of these rent-controlled apartment kind of like artists. You know, he's able to sort of continue to be a failed playwright, but he's got his apartment. John C. Reilly's in it. He plays this really interesting character. And so it's like, you know, it's based on a novel, so it's like it's got that literary effect that I sort of look for in movies. But it's genuinely funny. The performances are really good. It's very romantic about New York, being a writer in New York. The character like idolizes F. Scott Fitzgerald. So it's still kind of basic, but it was genuinely funny and like an interesting character study, and had tons of I don't know, intelligent humor. It wasn't like some shitty Judd Apatow movie about bodily fluids or naughty behavior. It was like a New Yorker article or something almost about like this, you know, it was just a very memorable kind of character piece. They live on East 91st Street. He's got this car from the fucking like 70s. So it's sort of like a lost New York. You know, it's like that world is not really that. It's like Seinfeld, New York or something. It's like,
I just go straight to karaoke and call it a day.
maybe there's a few people doing that, but
Oh, we were on our way home.
fewer and farther between, maybe. It was directed by, and I sort of secretly backed into this, is, well, wait a minute. There's a Little Miss, I don't think it was the Little Miss Sunshine people. Was it? Was it the Little Miss Sunshine people? I'm pretty sure it was. There's these pairs of directors. The Little Miss Sunshine people are like a husband and wife pair that directed that Steve Carell movie about Bobby Riggs, which was okay. Emma Stone. It was sort of woke, but it was, it was okay. It was pretty good. But then there's the people who directed American Splendor, who are also a husband and wife pair, I think, and they went to Columbia. So it's interesting to kind of explore these directors that are like, they're not making There Will Be Blood, they're not making these like balls to the wall, like masterpiece, fucking like giant experimental projects or something. They make these kind of like human adult, almost like movie novels or something, like that movie The Savages, those Nicole Holofcener movies with Julia Louis-Dreyfus and shit, Catherine Keener's in a lot of these movies, Paul Giamatti's in a lot of these movies. Even that Friends with Kids movies was kind of like that. Judd Apatow movies are kind of like a gross out broad version of that. That Adam movie, those fucking who's the guy? Neil LaBute movies. It's like they're not like the greatest fucking like indie movies that anybody, but they're actually pretty good fucking movies, and like they're modest. They're modest budget. It's not a special effects thing. It's not some period piece. Usually, it's like just stories about people living their lives and whatever. We watched this movie. Good Posture with I can't name any of the actors. One of the actors was in the Meyerowitz Stories, the young lady. It was just sort of a typical New York gentrifier core. They live in a brownstone in like Crown Heights. They, it's like the guys, like, they're European. They cook in their, bougie ass. They have the whole fucking house to themselves. He's got his music studio in the shed in the backyard where he records his like Bon Iver style music. He looks like Bon Iver. But anyway, this movie was, the people who made American Splendor have made like a couple, okay, I'm on 20%, so I probably am gonna get off soon. Have made like a couple, or they made like a series of movies that are like, like I think they made that Friend, Extra Man movie. I'm pretty sure that was them. It's like, it's no surprise, it shouldn't be a surprise that was like a smart, because I love American Splendor, it's like one of my favorite movies. And then I also watched Larger Than Life, the Bill Murray Elephant movie, which was actually surprisingly very good. Like, it was moving. I thought it was a great movie, actually. Larger Than Life. Always, seeing the previews and shit growing up, you always thought this movie is probably not great. It was right before Rushmore kind of like made Bill Murray the kind of indie darling, like alt cool Uncle Unk type guy that he became. His career was kind of over. I mean, I guess he was in Kingpin and shit, but like he was no longer kind of like, now there was Jim Carrey, there was kind of younger guys that were like maybe kind of doing more exciting stuff. He was kind of getting older. Larger Than Life. It looks like, kind of like a fucking Disney movie or something. It's like, this is going to be some heartwarming fucking story about Bill Murray and an elephant. I'll check it out. Whatever. It was pretty good. I liked it a lot, actually. It's got great cinematography. I mean, the critics are wrong about most things. That's what I don't know. I have different tastes. We watched the Stupids movie. Have people seen the Stupids? My friend in high school, Luke. Well, I kind of, like now, I was pretentious. I kind of had this affected literary thing where it's like, he always used to make fun of me because I had Charles Grodin's memoir. I was reading Charles Grodin's memoir in economics class. It would be so nice if you weren't here. And so he made fun of me because I like Ishtar. I like these kind of like, highbrow Criterion fucking movies or whatever.
Like, one time I went to a coffee shop.
And so he would sort of like, he would talk about how he was into this movie, The Stupids, with Tom Arnold. Who Tom Arnold is like, he's like the poor man's Jim Belushi. He's like, here's Jim Belushi, and then you go down a few rungs, and like, there's Tom Arnold. That's how Tom Arnold is like the cheap version of Jim Belushi. So that was sort of the joke. I mean, Luke was sort of like my comedian friend. We were both sort of like vying to be class clown. He was a little bit more of a vicious kind of cutthroat. He's more like the stand-up comedians where it's like he would go after you. He would attack you. But we also collaborated. He was also friendly and like, cared about friendships and shit like that. But we were both in economics. We sat in the back of the room. That's where we made Gotta Go Poop, the movie 2000. We made this movie in high school. It was his idea. See, this was an example of him being sort of like lowbrow. He was sort of Family Guy humor. I was more like, I don't know. I don't know. But Dr. Katz. So anyway, we made this movie, Gotta Go Poop, the movie 2000, which the premise of the movie basically, there was this song, we found it on Napster somehow. I think he searched for poop on Napster. He was that kind of guy. He was sort of like Tom Green. He had kind of a Tom Green, that was when Tom Green was on MTV, and so he kind of affected, like, he was like Tom Green. And so, there was a song on Napster, Gotta Go Poop. Gotta go poop. It's probably on YouTube. I don't know if I've ever actually looked for it. Gotta go poop. That was not, the movies that I wanted to make, like I wanted to make like a silent film comedy type thing, type shit. His idea was Gotta Go Poop, the movie 2000. And so that's what it was called. Gotta Go Poop, the movie 2000. Which in retrospect, his movies may be more contemporary than mine. That was sort of like ahead of the curve. Gotta Go Poop, the movie 2000. He really liked Fast and Furious shit. So anyway, the premise of Gotta Go Poop, the movie, we went to Chip's house because Chip had like the most unbelievable house. So we shot everything at Chip's house. Every movie we ever made had to have Chip's house in it because it was like this huge house. With all these winding staircases and like big living room, attic, garden, big fucking gate around it. So the premise of Gotta Go Poop, the movie 2000, was we had to go poop. And so we're like trying to like run to find a place to poop in the house. And so we're like competing to poop, basically, because we both have to go poop, and it's the year 2000, and it's a movie, so it's Gotta Go Poop, the movie 2000. Gotta go poop. And so, but it's like we go every time we open the bathroom, there's like we open the bathroom and like William Shatner's in the bathroom, and there I am doing like a William Shatner imitation. We were like probably 14 or 15. We loved The Critic, we loved John Lovitz. That we bonded over John Lovitz and The Critic. There's something about friends that you make when you're kids that's just like, I don't know. It just feels instantly lifelong or deep or something. You just are so comfortable and like, I don't know. The friends you make later, it's like it doesn't quite seem that way. I don't know. Gotta go poop the movie 2000. So yeah, we made that for economics class. And well, it was our business. Our business was we had a movie theater. And so he had a movie. He had Gotta Go Poop the movie, and I think I had a movie. And so we charged admission to see our movie, Gotta Go Poop the movie 2000. And it was in the other room, so you had to go into the other room to watch it. Which, you know, I think we made, I don't, you know, it's obviously not like, you know, inventing fucking Tesla or whatever. Or Apple computers. It's not like inventing Facebook. All we did was Gotta Go Poop the movie 2000, but... In any case, that was before 9/11, maybe, I think. Simpler times. I think that's about, well, you know, release the Epstein files. We'll see what happens with that. I'll try to get back on as soon as possible. We'll be following closely. Hopefully this is Trump's Watergate. But, you know, if the president does it, it's not illegal, so... And, you know, apparently they're just going to give him as much power as he wants, so... We have a king. Hopefully he'll die soon. And the whole thing will start to unravel. But... I don't know. There's got to be something to make these people come to their senses. So hopefully it's this fucking Epstein thing. Anyway. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great night. Sign up for the open mic Monday. We'll see you Monday. The gig tomorrow is postponed. We haven't got another date yet, so we'll let you know as soon as we know. I'm gonna get one of these chicken sandwiches I heard so much about. Go back, watch from the beginning, you know. I took my comedy set down because it was just too painful. It really wasn't even worth watching because I just didn't get any of my jokes even across, you know, so... In any case, all right, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.